Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today I'm going to go over the Profundity bonus event. So let's jump into it. So the reason I'm doing the bonus event, the Stardust transmission for Profundity, is I'm trying to 7-star it. I'm at 6. I had to do it 16 times today. So it was absolutely nuts. So the team that I used is this starting. So Rebel, Y-Wing, Ghost, Outrider. So if you're a 4-star, what I would recommend is the reinforcement for Biggs and Cassian's U-Wing. So they have some important things here. I did notice in the start that they seem to target the Ghost right away, and then they'll mass assist the Rebel Y-Wing. I've tried this a bunch of times. I've had decent RNG where realistically they go for the Ghost at first, all in on the Rebel Y-Wing. That spreads enough damage so that your team survives. They don't kill your tank right off the bat. When I started with Biston, I'm sorry, not Biston. When I started with Biggs, he ended up dying really easy. Usually when they do the mass assist or something. So happened very commonly. And so what you're trying to do when you do this is you're trying to kill Xanadu Blood as fast as you can. And yes, it's very unfair that you're facing not only the optimal executor, but they also have an additional ship when you don't even have the Millennium Falcon. Yes, and your ships all suck except for the Outrider and your tank. All right, so what you're going to use is this the Rebel fleet has arrived, so that's going to put marked over here on Xanadu Blood. I usually don't like to do concealed concussion missiles first because he will heal some usually, or you know, it's just not a good move right away. So I do like to do emergency repairs right away. You get some download and you also get tenacity up. It makes your team a little survivable, and then you wait to try to kill Xanadu Blood. So do this right away. Alright, so as you can see, they go for the Ghost. I don't know why, but they do very frequently. Alright, so I'm going to do this with ion torpedoes. Boom, shield disruption, it really doesn't matter. And then they're going to all in on this, on our tank. And this happens very frequently. And the reason I have Ghost here instead of another tank is that I'm going to use this ability, Static Jammer, right here on the Outrider. Boom. So he's not dead yet, but do this and then he dies, right? And then so if he survived, what it does is it gives me another turn where I can use Cassian to come in and finish the job. And what I noticed very frequently is when I went with double tank, I didn't have the juice to always kill Xanadu Blood, and I was playing multiple times. Sometimes he died, sometimes he didn't. Sometimes my tank died, sometimes he didn't. I've noticed that this way the RNG is a lot less. They're going to go they're usually going to go for the Ghost, and then they're going to all in on your Rebel tank Y-Wing. And what that is going to do is it spreads the damage, because if you have 2 tanks in here, sometimes they just like all in on one and then they'll mass assist that same one, and then he dies, and then you just don't have the juice. So if you do kill Xanadu Blood, what I like to do is call in Biggs. If you didn't kill Xanadu Blood, what I would do is I would call in Cassian's U-Wing, and I would use his second special, not the basic, not the first special, but his second special to do on the Outrider, and then that would get an assist, and you would kill the Xanadu Blood there. But since he's dead, I'll call in Biggs here. All right, and then here I can go ahead and use this. It's whatever gets an assist. So they're going to do the inconsequential, right? Everyone was already buffed. Not a big deal. All right, so now they're just going to be attacking my Y-Wing. A lot of times your guys are going to get very low. The Outrider is the healer, believe it or not. Like, he's the one who's going to keep everyone going. So that's what you want to do. All right, so what I like to do here is I do just like to get an AoE, get a little more crits out there. No crits that time, but that's fine. So now I'm going to use unconventional maneuver. I'm always going to use this on the Outrider. Boom. All right, and now his taunts off, actually. So I can start going in on Slave 1, which is good. All right. So, and now I have 2 tanks here to soak up the damage. If Biggs dies, it's not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to use emergency repairs. That's going to heal this guy up, and it's going to give us a lot of that special download over there. So go ahead and use that. Heals them up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just use this. Defense down on all enemies. Not a big deal. So basic over here. Okay, now I'm going to call in Cassian's U-Wing. I'm going to assist over on the Outrider with this one, the second special Guerrilla Strike. That's the one I was talking about earlier. There you go. And honestly, the worst thing RNG-wise is those dodges. Good timing, right? Perfect time. It's like I knew. I had the foresight to know that it was coming. There you go. So now I have download. Perfect run here. Excellent RNG. So... yeah, so he can die honestly right now, even if wouldn't even be a big deal if he did. All right, so Tantif away. I'm gonna use the ult here, and at this point, if you survive with the tank, you're pretty much going to win. So if you have a tank alive, you'll be just fine. This time I had everyone alive, so you know that works out for me. But I'll go ahead and do this. Not a big deal. Honestly, at this point, you can throw it on auto. I'm not going to because I would like to play it as efficiently as possible for the viewers at home. But this is the way. This is, and I found this to be very, very reliable. What it's doing for me is it's just like when I had to play this 16 times in a row, it made this a much, much better event. So I can just, because I was having such horrible RNGs with other guides, I decided, hey, I'm gonna make my own. To hopefully help others, because this is painful, like absolutely painful. The worst bonus event I've done, and as you can see, this was very smooth. It allows for a good amount of bad RNG. It doesn't require perfect RNG, and it just runs buttery smooth. So I would recommend this is the way. This is the perfect way to do this, to get your bonus shards for your Profundity. So what I'll show you what I have for my, I don't have tons of investment here into my characters or anything. So let's go ahead, refresh this one more time. So if you see my characters here, my Rebel Y-Wing, I do have that fully upgraded. My Ghost is not fully upgraded. It's 7s. I have a little bit of work on Hera, but pretty much this is the investment I have for pretty much for the Lightspeed bundle that we got. And then I brought up Hera a little more, I think, for a requirement. So that's what I have for there. For Outrider, I don't have the Omicrons on them. I don't have the Zetas on them, but I do have all the abilities upgraded on them. For these guys, they are Relic 3 from the Lightspeed bundles. Crap mods, not even all their abilities upgraded, not fully maxed, so it doesn't really matter. Wedge is super inconsequential for this. Sometimes if your guys dies, you can bring him in, but usually you don't need him. Same thing for Biggs. Not all of his abilities fully upgraded, Relic 3. And then Cassian. Cassian is Relic 8 because, you know, like you have to have them at these Relic levels. The only thing you may not have is the K2SO. Really doesn't matter. It's Relic 3. His ability is only level 6. You don't use it all that much. The most important one is it Jin's? No, not Jin's. Yeah, this one. Deal special damage to target enemy and call target ally to assist. Both attackers have an additional 30% critical damage. And if the assisting ally is a rebel, these attacks are guaranteed to be critical hits. So this one is the important one that you need to have all the way up. And then it helps with Ghost. It's not a big deal. I don't have this one all the way up where you would get less damage. But it's honestly not that big of a deal. Like, it does the job. It absolutely does the job. But this is the most reliable way that I found with the least RNG to get this event up and running. So if you try it, because honestly, when I was playing this, I was thinking, when I'm done with this, I'm never playing it again, is what I was thinking. So now you have the option to play this. I do have my my Profundity fully upgraded for 6. I do think Relic, I think at 4 stars this would work as well. So I would recommend try this out. I've had some great RNG with it. It's allowed me to like one-shot these where I was banging my head against the wall trying to win it like 4 or 5 times in a row. Trying this variation where I go with Big starting, and then I use Cassian as my first reinforcement in, because Biggs would die and then Rebel Y-Wing may or may not survive, and then there's nothing more frustrating than getting to the ult and then your whole team just dies because you don't have the sustainability to survive without a tank alive. So if your Big survives or your Rebel Y-Wing survive, you can take it to all the way to the end as long as you have like the outrider to keep them alive. But once both of these are dead, the whole thing falls apart. So this is the, let me know in the comments, like, did this help you? Is this a good way to do it? Did you also have the same RNG as I did? But honestly, this has been super consistent with me. I tried it live here. I no edits on this video. I just played it live. I recorded an earlier video that I was going to use, but being able to play it live has shown like, hey, this is super consistent. I haven't had any issues with it. So let me know in the comments if this has helped you. Otherwise, thanks for watching and take care.